Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chaos will reign, and a couple days ago, I think it was, you guys may have seen the video I put up on my channel, kind of joking about the whole Twitter versus Arcanium situation. Well, the reason I had done that initially is because I was actually reading through it, and that was kind of my way of saying, hey, I'm reading through it, I'm going to be actually saying something about it later, but video popped in my mind when I was just looking through like all the shit against him, and it was really just a list of allegations, so I just got the idea in my head. I know it's stupid, I know it's a shitty meme, it was just something I was doing for fun, but now I'm going to give you guys my actual take on the Arcadium situation, because in all seriousness, Arcadium has got to be one of the most manipulative, desperate, and just overall sick person I have read about in terms of how he treats the people around him. He is very socially inept and I definitely believe there's something just wrong with him in general. Like, just the shit that he does is just not okay, or the way that he treats people or manipulates the people around him just is not okay. So for those of you guys that don't know, Arcadium was a streamer that was very heavily involved in the D&D community as a dungeon master who had been building his own worlds as well as the worlds of other people for literal years. He's super into D&D. He's literally a master at the game. I personally know very little about D&D. I've played it like once or twice at most. I'm not part of the D&D community. I know, like I said, very minimal about it. But all I know is like they had all these crazy rule sets, and people's lives are like genuinely getting like extremely entwined in the progression of the game's story, to where like people were getting like physically fucking angry if their character died or like something in the story happened. It would make them physically angry and like, oh, you ruined this, all this and this. Like it's insane how like into the story these people were and like how expansive their lore for their game was. It was insane. But essentially what happened is Arcadium behind the scenes, let me give you a better idea of how he is just on camera. On camera, Arcadium comes across as a very, very egotistical, stubborn man. What he says is right. He rarely ever does anything wrong. And a lot of people around him hate him. That's his takes on a lot of things. He very, very often makes it seem like the people around him are just completely against him or out to get him, as a way of farming pity and empathy from other people, when he himself lacks any form of empathy. Which you can see in the allegations posted on Twitter, as well as in some of the voice calls that he's had that are on like video recording. That being said, though, the thing with Arcadium is behind the scenes, he was manipulating women, and not just in a, oh, we need to be really good friends way, or like manipulating him as a person. Because what he would do with some people that he only saw as a friend is, if they didn't message him for like a day or two, be like, hey, we don't hang out anymore. Wow, I'm really sad. No one wants to hang out with me, guys. No one wants to play games with me in the middle of the night when I have nothing to do. Oh my god. That type of dumb shit. He was making genuine sob stories to the people around him about how mistreated he was being by some of the people around him, how everyone ignored him, no one wanted to speak to him, he felt unattractive, and he was not only doing this to garner favor with people around him by farming pity and empathy off of them, but he was also using it to manipulate women into performing sexual acts for him as a form of helping him release his stress. We'll put it like that. And obviously, for those of you that don't know, if you can't pick it up off of that, you're too young to know. So let's just, you'll figure it out someday. But yeah, he was doing that through things like VR chat, private Discord calls, and even trying to convince some women through DMs. And overall, it's just very, very creepy, very, very inappropriate, and it definitely creates a massive power dynamic between him and the people around him, because he on many occasions does flaunt his effect that he's had on some people as a way of continuing to garner those things. I forget who the person in question was, but he had told her straight up that you wouldn't have met all those new friends you met if it wasn't for this, which is something that he made her become a part of or got her into. It's just really shitty, very manipulative, very underhanded, scummy tactics that he uses. And overall, reading over the whole thing, I genuinely felt disgusted. I felt angry at Arcadium. I felt disgusted at how he talked to them and treated them and how he viewed them as, in a lot of cases, just as kind of like a toy that he would use when he was bored and ignore when he had something to do. And I feel severely sorry for the victims. Not, I don't feel sorry for them because, pity is useless in a situation like this. But my heart goes out to the victims in this situation, and I hope that the people that were affected by him are able to get over this and make a recovery not only socially but mentally, and that they can eventually open up again to the people around them without fear of having them manipulate them. Again, I'm genuinely sorry to those people. Something like that is just messed up. You guys went through something horrible with him. Um, there were definitely red flags, but those are not always apparent. Because I know that point's been made before by some people that, well, there were red flags. How did they not pick up on all this? Sometimes those red flags aren't the easiest to see when that person is very close to you. You're not looking for something bad that they're doing. You're not always thinking things through as much if you see them as a really close friend because you don't want to think bad things of them. At least in my opinion, that's something I've done in the past. So I mean, maybe it's just a me thing, but I definitely feel like there are people that do that and look over situations. Just you know, but like I said, honestly, with Arcadium, dude's just got issues. I mean, cheating on his wife, or his wife apparently cheated on him. He's been cheating on her, or trying to. It's weird. It's so weird. And all these like relationships and stuff like that that he's been having. The dude was basically trying to build an online harem for himself that he could go and sit in whenever he was bored or got into a fight with his fiance or girlfriend at the time. So yeah, it, I don't really know what more to say on that other than it's a disgusting situation. Arcadium, you are fucked. Like you're just kind of fucked up. And to the victims, I wish nothing but the best for you guys and that you recover. But that you recover from this, and not only again socially but mentally as well, and that you guys can continue to trust the people around you that are close to you, that you know aren't going to try to manipulate you or leak what you say to them or anything like that. Now, one thing I do want to say though is that these are all allegations. I advise you greatly to go and read on these topics yourself. That all the Twitlongers are on Twitter. I'm not going to post all the links to them because there's a fuck ton of them. There's a fuck ton of stories talking about Arcadium. Honestly, just go on Twitter, look up stories about Arcadium. You'll find them. You'll find them everywhere. Um, and do your own research. Form your own opinion on what you feel about the situation or what you think happened. This is just me giving my hot garbage take on everything because it's what I'm good at. But with that being said, that's all in the Arcadium situation for now. If I find out any more serious updates, I mean, I'll probably be like the last person to talk about it, but I'll talk about it. Hope you guys have a good day.